still go.
Right. We're making this video in May 2020 as we're emerging from the pandemic which has swept not only New Zealand but the world. It's been quite an extraordinary time in our history, so we wanted to have a record for the children who at the moment are ho-hum about it, but they will look back in time and realise that they were part of this amazing time in history. The pandemic started in Wuhan in China and quickly spread throughout Europe, with Italy and Spain being the worst affected countries, quickly followed by the United Kingdom. The death toll mounted very quickly in all of those countries. All of those statistics are available. In New Zealand, our government chose to act quickly and they locked the country down, sealed the borders so that the only people that could come in were New Zealanders returning from overseas. And so these were the people basically who brought the pandemic in with them. They were all required to go into quarantine for 14 days and have testing to see whether or not they had the pandemic. And so for us began a period of locked down, staying at home. Over 70s were the prime target for the virus, really. And so we were, Malcolm and I, in the vulnerable category. That said, the pandemic happened during the most brilliant autumn weather. So we set a little routine for ourselves, really. We walked in the mornings. Malcolm walked, I walked. We walk independently. We garden, or he gardened. We ate a lot of food, drank a lot of wine, and generally occupied ourselves easily around the house over that period of time. Of course, we had television, we had Netflix, we had books, we had plenty of home entertainment, really, and the telephone, and of course the internet. So although we were isolated effectively, really we weren't, because we were still able to keep up social contact. So we've emerged now from 7 weeks of lockdown, and we're happy to tell the tale. Yesterday was the first day that we were able to reconnect with the Maddiford family, so we were invited over there for lunch, which was absolutely wonderful. Carl cooked us a fabulous fish and chip meal and battered mussels as well, and delicious salad and some nice wine to go with it. So that was super. And as if that wasn't enough, Malcolm and I went out for our first meal out last night, back to the Rangoon Ruby, and that was lovely too. So today I'm looking forward to Pat coming to stay. She came to New Zealand from California for her 80th birthday but never got the party because she was in lockdown. Like my sister, who never got her 90th birthday celebration in April because she was in lockdown too. But hey, here we are, coming out the other end of it, and the new normal won't be normal. The tourism industry and the hospitality industry are on their knees. There's a huge unemployment rate, but that said, New Zealand is a whole lot better off than many other countries. So we feel privileged. We've had a good lockdown, really, and as Malcolm says, we live like kings. Right, it's May 2020 and we're making this video so that we've got a record for the children, really, in years to come of how it was during the days of the pandemic. So Malcolm's going to talk a little bit about his impressions and experiences and so on. So Malcolm, it's all over to you.
Hi. Well, first off, I was very impressed with Jacinta, our Prime Minister, who was extremely positive and effective in setting the ball rolling. Added to that, there was relaxation, but on the downside, it was missing the grandchildren, missing my tennis. Fortunately, the weather was good, so we're out in the garden, and that was very positive.
So what do you grow in the garden in May?
Well, I've got broccoli, cauliflower, celery, leeks, broad beans are up, ready for October.
For October, righto.
and of course my walking, 7 o'clock in the morning, a bit dark, stumbling around the streets. Very noticeable the number of people running, walking, and that has lessened off as we have got on to level 2.
Okay, so I know that grocery shopping is close to your heart. Tell me about the grocery experience during the lockdown.
Well, that was very frustrating. One could have gone shopping, and one might have gone shopping, but however, we later decided the click and cash.
Click and carry. Click and collect.
Collect.
Collect and collect, yeah,
Yeah,
right.
the 2 C's. Very efficient with countdown, and so that was quite enjoyable. Having it all packed for you and ready and waiting. So the other thing that was disappointing was being unable to go to a restaurant or coffee bars or whatever. So that's about it. We're looking
Okay.
forward to it, but I must again congratulate our government for their positive and urgent action that they took. Otherwise we could be in serious trouble.
You're absolutely right there. Thank you. Hello, this is, what's the date today, Isla, do you know? It's about the 16th of May, I think, 2020. And we've just come out of 6 weeks in lockdown following the pandemic. So the children are all going to, well, that doesn't work when I do that. The children are all going to have a little word about how the pandemic was for them. So Isla, can you tell me what was the best bit, if there was a best bit?
Probably when Mama went down to the dairy and bought me noodles in a cup, and she bought us each a bag of lollies, like a big bag.
That was a treat.
Yeah,
Oh.
and also I had Kipu and Melly to hug and play on the lawn with.
Oh, that was nice. That was super. So they were playmates when you couldn't have your other friends.
Yes.
And was there a bit of the pandemic that you really didn't like at all?
Yes,
What was that?
when I lost computer.
When you what?
Lost computer.
You lost computer. Why did you lose computer?
I can't remember, but I was naughty.
Oh, something that you did wrong, and that was the punishment. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that was no good.
Because
Okay.
the boys wind me up.
Oh, that's boys for you, isn't it? So tell me, are you looking forward to going back to school on Monday?
Yes.
You are. What are you looking forward to about school?
Seeing my friends.
Yeah.
Hopefully not as much work, because online school is so bad.
Online school's bad, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're really ready to go back to school. Well, that's great. I think you've made a great interviewee today. Thank you very much. See you. Hi, Geordie. How are you today?
Good.
You good? Okay. So, Geordie, how old are you?
I am 12 years old.
12. And when did you have your last birthday?
During quarantine.
During quarantine. How was that?
Interesting. We
Yeah.
didn't get to meet up with any of my friends, but we did online.
You did online. And how did you celebrate your birthday?
We got takeout for the first time we could for a month.
Yeah.
I got a lot of presents and we did a scavenger hunt.
Oh, fabulous. So it wasn't such a bad birthday at all.
No.
No, you'll remember it. So was that the best bit of quarantine?
Yeah.
It was. And was it a worst bit of quarantine?
Just quarantine.
Just quarantine, full stop. So are you looking forward to going back to school?
Sort of.
Tell me what year level you are at school. And
I'm a year 8.
year 8. And so what does that mean for you next year?
I'm going into high school.
You're going into high school next year. Okay, well, thank you very much. You've been a great person to interview today. I appreciate your time. See you. Now, this is my eldest grandchild. This is beautiful Oliver Medford. Oliver, tell me how old you are, dear.
I'm 13,
You're 13. And when is your birthday?
July 14th.
So you're going to be 14 quite soon.
Yes,
Righto.
indeed.
So what year level at school are you?
I'm currently year 9.
Year 9. At which school?
Christchurch Boys High School.
And when did you start there?
I started there around,
Early
January.
this year.
Yeah,
Okay.
early
So
January.
you hadn't been at school all that long when the pandemic struck.
yeah,
Right. And so
Around a
you've
term.
had big interruption in your education, really, haven't you?
yeah.
So how's that been for you? What's happened so to keep you education going?
Well, the homeschool system is, in my opinion, unorganised and everything's hard to find, and it's a bit of a half job.
Half job, right. But you still did continue to
Yeah.
do some school work, even though you didn't enjoy it all that much. Right, so was there a best bit of the pandemic for you?
No,
Not really? What
Not
about
at all.
staying in bed and sleeping?
I do that anyway.
Pandemic or not? Okay. And so are you looking forward to going back to school on Monday?
Yes,
Why?
because it's different from my current situation, and it's actually, I'm actually able to have control over the situation.
Right, okay. So will you go back to be trying to get a part-time job?
Yes, if I can find a decent one.
Right, that might be harder now with
Yeah.
more people out of work, mightn't it? Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay, well look, thank you very much for spending your time with me today doing this short interview, because in the years to come, you're going to look back on this and say, oh, I remember, yeah, doing that and I really didn't want to do it.
In the years to come, I'm probably going to want to delete it.
Okay, well you can probably do that in years to come anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, love. Right, here we have the Madiford family. I couldn't remember the date when I was asking Isla. I think it's the 16th. Never mind, 16th of May, is it?
Yes, it is the 16th.
16th, 2020. We've just had a marvellous lunch of get together because we've just all come out of pandemic, and so we're just going to have a quick look around, and then I'm going to talk to Rebecca about her.
Did you get Papu?
I'll get him in a minute, don't you worry.
No, later.
Yeah. Right, okay, so here we go, guys. So you're both there, so both tell me just one or two reflections of the pandemic. Rebecca, you start.
Okay. So Carl has been in Wellington. So I've been through the lockdown on my own with 3 children, 3 different school learning online systems, whilst trying to run a house and work from home.
Yeah.
So it's been
Been a big job.
hard yak, big job, but ultimately we're doing okay, and other people are doing it a lot harder. So it's, it's all relative.
Right, okay. Carl, what about your experience?
Well, I started the new job as the emergency manager for Wellington City 2 weeks before the pandemic lockdown was announced. So it was interesting. The funny thing was, it was different from other crises that I've been involved in that all our infrastructure was still there. So nothing had fallen down, nothing was broken. I actually spent the first week calming other people down. And just say, hey, look, we're fine. We just need to put systems in place so people can work from home. It was really quite an interesting one of all the different bits and pieces that I've ever been involved in. This one was about quite literally keep calm and carry on.
Right. Okay, so now that the pandemic's over and life's getting back to what we think is a new normal, how are you feeling about that? What are you looking forward to?
What am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to the children going back to school, because I don't think homeschooling is my forte. So much appreciate the teachers, can I say? And I think, in fairness, the children are looking forward to going back to school too. So
They've all said that.
yeah, so that would probably be my main thing. That's the most.
And Carl, last word from you. What are you looking
Well,
forward
I'm
to?
hoping that it's over. We've bought ourselves an opportunity here where we don't have community transmission at the moment, and if we all keep our heads, then we could have a far easier go with this than a lot of places overseas. So it's good. Moving to a new job, hopefully shortly, which is also another thing.
Where is that located?
That's going to be here back in Christchurch. That's one of the things that came out of this was we're not doing the Wellington thing.
Woohoo!
No, we aren't. We sometimes you have to have a look somewhere else.
Yeah.
Just
But
really
you've done
appreciate what you've got already.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it for us.
Okay, right. Well, in you go, Isla. In you go.
Look at that.
Right, get the dogs in as well.
Oh, Melly,
Oh,
turn
Melly's
your-
bum. Yes.
Come on.
There we are.
Good girl.
Oh, there we are.
Here we go.
Okay, well that's a nice note.
Don't forget Papu.
No, I'll start again.
Oh yeah, and then we'll get you in too.
Right.
I can
Doesn't sound like a good.
Oh, it was a wholesome
Oh.
Americans.
Right, Geordie, you
Crap.
move in a wee bit.
No one spoke for
Here we are. And call the dogs. Call the dogs. Get the dogs in. Right, and they've all done as they were told. Like the
Come
children.
on.
Oh, here we go.
Nelly.
Good boy.
Good girl, she's got a leaf on
Yeah.
her chin.
Good boy, Desmond.
Right.
Wait, that's wait.
Now you can all wave at me.
Hey.